Really splendid attire at his visit. His doublet is embroidered with precious stones and decorated with the emblem of Patax. A disdainful smile is plastered on his powdered face. He bows formally. Your Highness, I am here on behalf of His Highness Everetti of Patax. It is an open secret that things are not going too well for your kingdom of late, and bandits and monsters, which you supposedly exterminated, are swarming your countryside once more. You are losing the trust and respect of your subjects. Everyone sees that you are failing to meet the responsibilities of a proper ruler. It's just that not everyone dares to say this out loud. His Highness Everetti is ready to lend you a helping hand. Reject this unbearable burden of power, kneel to him, and advocate the crown. He will rule the stolen lands wisely and fairly as he rules his home country. His Highness expects you at his palace, ready to accept you. I'm not keeping up with my responsibilities. Don't be a surge. You know full well that this disaster that fell upon my lands was the work of Everetti himself. Slander. My king is famous for his wisdom and fairness. How could he have woven such a plot? Beyond belief. He can wait as long as he likes. He's not getting my crown. Pass your words, His Highness, but wouldn't it be wiser to set a helping hand while your country can yet be saved? Alright. Ideally, I would like to just chop his head off, but apparently that's not good. Oh! 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 Oh, here we go.
You've broken into my dream. Now it's my turn to enter yours.
Why are you
I've come to say goodbye. If we meet again, it will be a meeting of sworn enemies on the battlefield. Do you remember the first time we met? I came to you disguised as the former Nyrissa, a tender young nymph who hadn't yet spent ages under the yoke of her curse. Deceiving comes easier if your lies are familiar to you. But it seems that I've played myself into a corner. Your words brought me pain. They were like sharp thorns sprouting through my skin. You made me recall who I once was, and who I would never be again. Now, when the end is near, I feel anxiety. It seems it's no coincidence that the last step to forgiveness must be the only death I could care about.
I've always said this one all the time. I am sorry that everything turned out like this. I care about you, but I can't let you destroy Meg.
I know. Long ago,
I know,
I refused to back down when the eldest sent the beast to destroy me in my realm. You and I are similar in that. Maybe that's why. Well, never mind. Farewell. Our next meeting.
Oh, never mind. Stretches out.
Be a very different one. Much more bloody and violent, I would expect.
Yeah, I hope not.
Do you know why I couldn't immediately recognize the intrusion? When you and the foolish little robin bard broke into my dreams. Because it wasn't the first time I dreamt of you.
These words, the nymph silhouette dissolves into thin air. So, she's not going to destroy? So, King Everetti invited you for a visit. I have the perfect gift of him. Look through it when you have the time. The entire truth of the Academy of the Grand Arts. Truth about what the students, teachers, headmasters, and the great patron Everetti himself was doing behind the pretty facade. The first press runs is already on the way to Patax. When you go, don't forget to take me with you. I want to see the effects of the book Professor Ubold and I wrote with my own eyes. I'm sure it'll be explosive. Alright. Hello, my dear. Greetings. What would you like to discuss? What would you like to know? Tell me about your past. All of us, including Nyrissa and those who knew us as the DeVay sisters, are children of the First World. Well, there you go. So I killed her sisters. Well, lovely. So I was right. We used to be close like sisters, though Nyrissa always shone brightest, like the moon amongst a sea of stars. She was our leader long before she tried to become one of the eldest. Though she was defeated and cursed in the process, we trusted her with our lives and followed her despite the danger. I like to think of the time before the curse as our youth. Though by mortal standards it would have seemed to last forever. We were bold, overconfident, full of high notes. We yearned to change the world, and we never knew the true fear. The creatures of the first world are immortal and thus careless. So there was 4 of them. I killed 3 of them, so this is the last one because she was served as her servant, I suppose. Nyrissa used to call me her grumpy cousin because I would always question her plans. In all honesty, I thought I would tease her and point out flaws in her plans. I always believed deep in my heart that she would succeed, and then we would laugh together over my pointless fears. You could only imagine how much I miss those times. You mentioned immortality several times. Cannot die? Well, that's not what our sisters know. The souls of the First World creatures don't follow the same laws set by the gods for other living beings. If we die, we lose a significant part of our power, but we are born again with all of our memories, looking just the same as before. But this only works for death on our home plane. This is why my king avoids travelling abroad. They fear the forever death that awaits them in other worlds. But the stolen lands are sewn to the First World with the threads of the bloom. It affects everything, even the life cycle. Those who die within the bloom, or in places like Canterbury, where the First World and Glorian are close, are twins in a mother's womb. We return to our homeland and be resurrected there. This is why you can always find so many fake creatures in your kingdom. Curiosity drives them here. Well, there is one more reason I've spoken about immortality. My pure sisters, the nymphs, share the burden of the curse with Nyrissa. The curse tore them from the internal cycle of life of the First World. Now they can really die. Yes, they really can. Even in the First World, just like you and everyone else around you. I suppose the curse didn't impact me as heavily, perhaps because I tried to dissuade Nyrissa from her plan at the outset, or perhaps because I tried to fight the evil that plan bestowed upon us. How do you like living in a city? It is hard. Nymphs, dryads, nairs, we are all children of nature. We have little fondness for the structures built by humans. They are like stone antehills to us, but now it's not the time to worry about comfort. When the stone and noise around me become unbearable, I simply go into the lake. The dust water could use some care, and perhaps the settlers will treat the lake better if they know it was a patron. Within the city, Elinda, the innkeeper, takes care of me. In return, I help her purify and enchant water for her drinks. It's so nice to have a friend again. Nyrissa and the curse. Answering that will require you to know a bit more about the First World. The gods forsook the First World long ago, and they were replaced by a creature we call the Eldest, the Lost Prince, and Sheik the Many. Mend and the Lantern King. There are many of them, as diverse as they are immensely powerful. Nyrissa wished to become part of them, to gain the power to build her own realm, a stronghold of spring, creation and love. And those are not just fancy words. In the First World, along with enough power, can shape reality, literally, to create, to fill with life, and to rally those who share her vision. That is what Nyrissa wanted. But the eldest are jealous beings, and they do not tolerate challenges to their power. They unleashed a monster against us, one of the tame, the most fearsome servants of the eldest. Nyrissa fought it, she lost. You know what happened next? Exactly. It deprived Nyrissa of her immortality. Even worse, it deprived her of her soul. The eldest, they They extracted her ability to love, turned it into an artifact, Briar. The curse was not just a punishment, it was also a painful way to atone for her misconduct. Nyrissa was promised forgiveness once she helped destroy the 1,000 kingdoms. Each kingdom destroyed became a grain of dust dropped in a magic cup called the Apology. And as you are aware, the cup is almost full. Glorian is huge with many kingdoms. Why did Nyrissa focus on the Stolen Lands? The Stolen Lands have always had a strong connection to the First World, though this is not the sole reason. Somewhere in these lands, the elders hid Briar as part of her curse. Evindra closes her eyes and a sing-song voice recites, "Let your unrequited love guide you, as it guided you to your first kingdom, so it shall again." Nyrissa was deprived of the very part of her essence that led her to her bold plan in the first place. They took it from her, and for ages she has been seeking what she lost. It must be excruciating to feel the call for what was once an inseparable part of you, and to be unable to find it. What happens once Nyrissa collects the grains? Who can say? In my limited understanding, the Elktis are cold, distant alien beings. Nyrissa will bring them her full cup, and then I can't even imagine. But I doubt it will end happily. What they did to her, the fate they brought upon 1,000 kingdoms, it all seems unimaginably cruel. Whatever they have in mind must be crueler, I'm sure of it. Do you believe Nyrissa spent thousands of years tormenting the Stolen Lands against her will? Yes and no. The curse deprived her of a primal essence of her soul, her ability to love. I believe deeply that any mind, no matter how blight, will turn to evil to cut off her love. Nyrissa even began treating us, our closest friends and sworn sisters, as little more than living tools. Let's not even mention how she treated mortals. One whose heart knows no compassion is incapable of mercy. What does she want? The same thing she wanted from the successful aspirants who came before you, willing or unwillingly. For centuries she has fought out strong, ambitious promises of people within the Stolen Lands, helped them grow and build their own kingdoms, and then pitted them against one another. This is what happens with Armagh, the proud barbarian chieftain. This is what happened to Everetti, the cunning schemer. And this is what will happen to you as well. Why did you decide to help me? I cannot stand aside any longer. If there is even a small chance to save Nyrissa, I must find it. And if there is truly no hope, then I will do what I can to help atone for all the evil she's wrought. I know Nyrissa from before, Nyrissa I still remember and love. I could not bear the thought of what she has become, what she has been forced to do. Even killing her would be more merciful than allowing her to remain a monster. I doubt Nyrissa will leave me be. Do you have any ideas on what next steps you should do? There is one thing, find Briar, the artifact created from the stolen part of Nyrissa's soul. I know what power it holds, and I am sure if anything can alter the sinister story we have all become characters in, it is Briar. I can only speculate, but perhaps you should begin your search by contacting Everetti. He spent a long time searching for Briar, as Nyrissa command. As to how you might obtain any information from him, well, that is another question entirely. Wish you luck. Alright, let's see. Okay. Good day, Your Highness, for the moment at least. I didn't expect you to show your face here. You will allow me to give you a piece of advice. What did you give me? There are two possibilities. Either you come to surrender, hoping for his mercy, or you have to start a bloodbath in the streets, thinking that my guard won't stop you. My advice is the same in either case. Run. Wow. Here you, I am the captain of the taxing guard and the one responsible for keeping trouble off the streets. including struggles for power. Perhaps what I have to say will change your mind. Perhaps, but I would encounter it. Big roll here. Oh, oh. I tell you what, I am just rolling on these. That's so bizarre. For some reason I believe you. Fine. I only pray this won't be the biggest mistake of my life. If you fight Everetti, the city guard will be on your side. But didn't hear this from me. Now go, before someone hears us. Yeah, that was a bit easy there. What's going on here? What's going on here? Definitely hard. That was there's a few times though I've done that checks and I've always just made it. Alright. Oh, that's, yeah, I can speak to him. Hopefully that's a trade guild. So there you are, your highness. Everetti expecting you to bend the knee, but I suspect you have other plans. You're right about that. I am the head of the Lysian family in the Iron Fox Trade House. We ruled Patax not long ago, before that scoundrel Everetti seized the crown, and most of our property. Now the old families hold but a sliver of their former influence, but we still live on, quietly hoping for resistance. Cause you to lose influence. It's a dark and sordid story, and I swear I'll give my life to learn the full truth of it. Patax was founded by 4 families and ruled by the 4 trade houses for centuries. We quarrelled time for time, of course, and property didn't always change hands peacefully, but none of us would dream of impinging on another family's lawful rights. And then Everetti appeared. We underestimated him, though him nothing more than another adventurer like there are thousands of others in the region. He handles matters quickly and chaotically, with assets running through his fingers faster than chips. Yeah, I think I've done all of this. Okay, so assuming I oppose Everetti, will the old families support me? You can count on the help of the Liacenza family, but regarding the other trade houses, I've tried to unite them many times, but the stubborn fools would sooner die alone than triumph united. I have no idea what might bring them together. Well, maybe this will do it. Hint, hint. I'm all ears. In that one. By the gods, this is unheard of. I will immediately dispatch my people to the Abbey and the other families. If this is true, then Everetti will face blood vengeance from all the families. What is it? I wasn't expecting guests. A woman comes out of the back rooms in a dress that was expensive, but is now moth-eaten and heavily mended. Her posture and gait give away a noble upbringing. She seems to be in her 40s, though some pain or suffering must have worn her beyond her years, leaving wrinkles across her face, grey in her hair. I am Baroness Claria de Ferroni. Welcome to my manor. I'm afraid I have nothing to offer you, nor do I have the honour of knowing you. What do I owe the pleasure? Mother! Octavia, gods. My Octavia, is it really you? It's been so many years. She steps forward to hug her daughter, tears in her eyes, but she stops when she sees Octavia's stony gaze. You're Octavia. My last memory of you is selling me to the slave traders. You dare call me yours? Cruel words, but fair. Octavia, my child, let me tell you what happened. Afterwards, you may decide on your own what to do, even if it means you never wish to see me again. All I need to be happy is to know you're safe and sound. Okay, did she become a slave? My father, may his soul rest in peace, was a very stern man. Some would say cruel. When I found out I was expecting a child of some adventurer, he expelled me from the house and cut me off from any inheritance. I scrapped by on my own for 3 years, sewing, teaching and the like, but then father discovered he was dying, and Delia Ferroni line would end. So he told me he would leave the full inheritance to me if I would only get rid of my disgrace. Oh, oh, oh. Wow, so it's not he's not the father. Alright. And so you did. Traded me for inheritance, I see. No, it wasn't like that at all. I had a plan to deceive him, you know. I made arrangements with the man at the Technic League. He was supposed to take you to Numeria, keep you there until my father died, and then bring you back. I was trying to do what I thought was best for you. Do you understand? I wanted you to grow up in your own manner, in luxury rather than poverty. Once father was gone, the man from the Technic League said he didn't remember any such arrangements. He said you bought you already sold you, and had no idea where you were. I kind of expected. Why didn't you buy her back? I had no idea where she was. Octavia, believe me. I continued to look for you all these years. I spent all the inheritance hand sleuths, investigators to scour Numeria and the River Kingdoms, but you were nowhere to be found. She wipes tears from my eyes. I know you were still alive. I could feel it. And I never stopped searching. I just wanted to see you again, just once. To at least beg for your forgiveness. What is there to say? Mother, you're such a fool. You think you wouldn't have done fine without a title? I'd have grown up, learned some craft. We'd have been poor, probably, but at least we have been together. Oh, you stay, at least for a little while. There's so much to talk about. Isn't it dangerous for you here, though? With just a couple of servants? There's a lot of disquiet in Patax right now, and trouble all around. Magical beasts, barbarians. I live in Stolen Lands now. Have you heard of it? It's recently established. Maybe you can move there. I'll be able to tell you what I've been doing all this time and show you all that I've achieved. Stolen Lands. As you say, my child, I'll begin packing immediately. I'll be waiting. Give the order to pack and call my carriage immediately. Okay, tavern. A dark-haired middle-aged man in the sailor's gait, trimmed beard and a grumpy face is blocking your way. Sir, my name is Weller, and it is my honour to serve as first mate aboard the pirate ship called the Prejudice. I'd like to ask you a favour. Help me save my merry crew of sea dogs from drowning in the bottoms of the water. Can I count on your help? Without you, my crew will drown in drunkenness and decadence. What's he babbling about? I thought pirates were tough fighters, you know? Feisty guys on ships. Just drunks and rattle brains. Well, obviously. It's just like they always are. Okay. What's the problem? Well, Weller grimly points at the drunken pilots. There. Our crew has placed an order. A wizard named Blackmore agreed to create a grimoire for us, a book. But more, a masterpiece of art. We're supposed to meet him at this tavern several days ago, but he hasn't shown up. Worse, we have no idea where we should look for him. Well, luckily enough, you know, he's an extraordinary man full of amazing stories, but he's jealous of his solitude. In truth, if the whole crew stays here drinking or waiting for him for days upon days, and if it goes on like that, well, we'll lose our image of honest pirates. What respected client would want to hire us? It's long past time for us to set sail, but Captain Martin will hear nothing of it. He won't leave without the book. I need your help. I have to overthrow the captain and take command, but I'm not the most popular man in the crew. If Martin is like an amusing and irresponsible father for the sailors, I'm the strict mother ready to put her rolling pin to use. I need someone who can persuade the sailors to take my side. There aren't many who support me now, just those who want to fill our sails and southern winds. It's true, we live in an age of decline and decadence. I'd wager you're curious what you'll stand to gain. I'll answer you. Robbing raids are a thing of the past for the ships and her crew. We'll dedicate ourselves to trading elite art pieces. It's a highly profitable business, and that's just as true for anyone drawing taxes from our vessels. You help me, then after I become captain, I'll persuade this business under your banner. But this will only work if I'm captain. I can't speak for Martin, he's always preferred robbery over honest trade. No, I'm not. For many years I've kept this crew afloat, both our ships and our business. If I don't overthrow the captain in a few weeks, there won't be any crew left. Tell me about the grimoire. Not much to be told. It's a book. It's big and beautiful, covered with calligraphy. Knowing Blakemore, I bet it's full of magical surprises. But its main value lies in the perfection of the visual aesthetics. Sounds like an artist, don't I? As you can see, throughout the years I've become well versed in matters of art. I've particularly grown to love it. Well, we've already done this. We literally have the book. Let's just say Blackmore is a living phenomenon. If you listen to him for 5 minutes, you hear the most impossible stories any dreamer's mind could ever produce. But at the same time, he's an extraordinarily gifted wizard and a skilled artist. I can't attest to that personally. Your line of work. Tell me about the ship. You won't find a more glorious pirate ship anywhere. We're not some pathetic bandits. We attack fishermen and cargo ships full of cabbages. The prestigious chases only art, pieces of art I mean. I was never a big admirer of art, but when I learned how much the nobles are willing to pay for it, their aesthetics and beauty just overwhelmed me. Usually, we've been selling most of our loot to King Everetti. Speaking of which, Blackmore's grimoire was commissioned by Everetti too. It's a long story. Once I was a yeoman in Rossland, and when House Rogavia, and all those things happened with House Rogavia. Happened to House Rogavia. I raised anchor and took off in an instant. I could feel upheaval coming, just like I can feel the wind shift northwest at midnight. Back to Deadbridge, I met Captain Martin, who was recruiting a new crew. The crew soon grew to believe that it was my responsibility too, well, to arrange things, to manage everything. The captain is good at strategic planning, but he's not so skilled at questions of discipline. On the prestigious, I listen to the captain and the crew listens to me, but it only works so long as I don't contradict Martin. Okay. Martin. There have been a few new faces in the tavern recently, for some reason. Can I be of any use to you? We have a rendezvous with our most outstanding artist, but he's rather late. My crew needs a way to blow off some steam, or their bloodthirst won't get the better of them. You see, not so long ago I commissioned a wizard named Blackmore to create a grimoire. It should be an amazing book, a masterpiece of calligraphy and fine art. And Blakemore is a phenomenal genius and offers some mighty tale books. At last, punctuality is not one of his virtues. He's not much good with people at all. Blackmore has lived too long a hermit. In fact, we don't know where he lives, but if you ever cross paths with him, you can somehow bring back the grimoire to us. My gratitude would be immense. And of course, we will immediately set off without disturbing the peace. That's why I can do it that way. Okay. Our ship has visited every port in the world. I know a few things. Don't be surprised. Never heard of you. You're here. Haven't you heard? Perhaps you're not interested in art. I am the famous Captain Martin, commander of the pirate ship Prestigious. We are masterpiece hunters, art thieves, and welcome guests in the houses of collectors and connoisseurs of beauty. I admit King Everetti himself hosted me at the palace more than once, and he's always been satisfied with my gift. Tell me about the crew. Our crew is a team of extraordinary ladies and gentlemen. Caelysse, the elf who was picking a fight so gracefully when you entered, he's a true master of boarding fights. The senior sailor, Shaggart, is quite funny and witty, fellow like no one else. Of course, sometimes he's half orc. His orc half prevails, and his trick start posing a danger to others. But everyone has some flaws, right? Raban is a true dwarf and a natural-born ship treasurer. His budget always squares with the treasury, although at one time he strangled a sailor because the treasury wouldn't cover his salary. But in the end, the budget was spot on. Over there in the corner, that's Bluntmund. I've never met a more gloomy and rude man. They say he was a crew man on the ship of the damned, but I wager that's just a tall tale. And of course, let's not forget First Captain. He's my right hand. A man of impeccable loyalty. And don't tell anyone I told you, but he's a great fan of art. It's a pity he hides his passion. But we all know about it, of course. That would be a long story. I can say without exaggeration, there's no sea in the world we haven't sailed. I traded with the Caelysses, talked with the sages of Absalom, traded gorgeous carved mass from the Garud Aborigines for rum, fought off Ulfland raiders who came in the middle of the night howling like wolves. I participated in the regatta organised by the Apis Consortium, taking honourable second and only because of the dishonesty ploys of my rivals, the Hurricane King himself, Captain Kirdic Bonefist, leader of the Free Captains and the ruler of Shackles, gave me that magnificent rapier as a gesture of respect. Okay, give a command to Wheeler. Sir, let's do this without bloodshed. Give me your command. You'll be the death of the crew. This is mutiny. You're kidding me. My crew would never betray me. I'm the best captain in all the seas. Right, crew? Yeah, you're a coward, not a coward. Captain, how long have you been sitting here? Is that what I call a captain would do? Okay. People saying I should bluff. Who are you trying to fool? Everyone knows that you pocketed the best part of the booty. Miller told me everything. Okay. There's a hand on his weapon. Stop making plans on my ship. Stop this mutiny, crewmen. Arrest the Weller. One more. Come on. Hey, finally. I get Martin freezes, not knowing what to say. Silence falls for a moment, and then one of the pirate hisses an incomprehensible sailor swear through his teeth. Martin looks at the seamen around him, bewildered. The first mate makes a sign, and the captain, apparently now former captain, is carted away. Captain Wheeler shakes your hand. You saved the pretentious. Now we can finally set sail like normal pirates. Hold on, I remember what I promised. We'll put an end to our career as sea dogs and become an honest merchant vessel. The prestigious will sail henceforth under your banner.